I did everything right. I saved diligently, maxed out my contributions, lived below my means, and followed every piece of financial advice I was ever given. I was a good participant. That was the problem. For years, I followed a set of rules that felt unshakable. Pay yourself first, diversify, don't try to time the market, trust the system. And so I did, without question. But quietly, something wasn't adding up. The house I grew up in, bought by my parents for a modest sum, was now worth 10 times that amount. My savings were growing on paper, but my purchasing power felt like it was shrinking. I was doing everything right, and yet the finish line kept moving. What I didn't understand, what nobody had explained to me, was monetary debasement, the silent expansion of the money supply that inflates asset prices and erodes the real value of everything you've worked for. It's not a conspiracy, it's policy, and retail investors like me were the last to know. Let me introduce you to 4 people: Jamie, Mark, Sarah, and David. Each of them is doing the responsible thing. Each of them is losing ground, and they don't know it yet. Jamie keeps cash in a high-yield savings account. Mark invests in real estate. Sarah holds a balanced portfolio. David puts everything into index funds and trusts the math. On paper, they're all winning. In real terms, adjusted for debasement, the picture is far more complicated. Here's what the financial industry won't tell you plainly. Nominal returns and real returns are not the same thing. When the money supply grows at 6, 8, 10% per year, a 7% index fund return isn't growth. It's barely keeping pace. David feels safe, but safe and sovereign are very different things. This realization led me to start asking harder questions. What does financial sovereignty actually mean? Not retirement at 65, not a paid-off mortgage. True sovereignty, the ability to preserve and grow wealth independently of monetary policy decisions made by people who will never meet you. That question became the foundation for StackMotive, a precision tool built not for the average participant, but for the person who has woken up and decided to opt out of financial passivity. The Sovereign Signal is the newsletter I wish had existed when I was still following the rules. It's the letter I'm writing to my past self, and to anyone else who's done everything right, and still feels like the system wasn't designed in their favor. StackMotive launches now, not as a magic solution, but as a disciplined framework for building real wealth in a world where the rules keep changing. If you felt the gap between effort and outcome, this was made for you. I was a good participant. Now I'm building something better. StackMotive is now live and available to you, and I invite you to listen to my full story.